and I'm a field development manager with the Pampered Chef Home Office. In your first workshop earlier today, you learned about the first core culture, teamwork, and monthly activity. In your second workshop, you learned about fast-paced recruiting growth. And now you will hear about the final core culture, career plan advancement. When developing a culture for career plan advancement, you want to ask yourself how you create a picture and a vision for your team so clear that they can see themselves moving up in the career plan. Our guest experts are going to help you answer that question as they share key tips and actions that you can put into place in your business right away. So get ready to take lots of notes as you're listening in. Today, we're going to cover why you should want to advance, creating a team culture for advancement, how to identify potential leaders, creating the desire for promotion, and taking responsibility for your own success. And during the presentation, our speakers and members of the home office staff will be monitoring the Q&A, so be sure to post your questions pertaining to the topics there. At the end of the presentation, we'll ask the speakers to respond to as many questions as possible during the live Q&A. So today, I am thrilled to introduce National Executive Director Becca Yon from Shawnee, Oklahoma. Becca joined Pampered Chef a little under 3 years ago, and at the time, she was a school teacher. Within 6 months, she accelerated through the career plan, and now she has been doing Pampered Chef full-time for the past 2 years. Becca earned both Excellence and Founders Awards in 3 different categories in 2019, was the #4 highest earner in the company for Hawaii, and the #3 highest earner for Disney. Becca has blown us away in her Pampered Chef career by earning National Executive Director status in just 2 years and 7 months. And get this, she delivered her beautiful baby boy during month 2 qualifications of promoting. Becca has helped develop over 75 leaders in her organization, which is just amazing. And I know you're going to learn so much from Becca today. Next, it's my honor to introduce National Executive Director Cami Cruz, who lives in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, with her 5 young children and her amazing husband. In her 14 years in the business, she has earned an incentive trip every single year. In fact, she was the highest points achiever for the 2 most recent trips. She's achieved Excellence Awards in 4 categories the past 2 years, Founders Award for the past 13 years, and she is a Circle of Honor achiever. Cami has set new records for the company by personally selling $76,000 in the month of May, and she has helped to promote over 130 leaders in her organization within the past 14 months. Cami shared with me that she absolutely loves Pampered Chef and that she is grateful every single day to be a part of this amazing company. And I know that you're equally grateful to be able to learn from her today. So let's jump in.
Hi everybody, I am so excited to be here, and I'm really excited to talk about success strategies for career plan advancement with you guys. In my organization, we've had some pretty incredible growth recently, but it hasn't always been that way. We had actually promoted to an executive team about 5 years ago, but it didn't last. And that was so hard to lose that after working so hard to achieve it. But I did learn some things from my experience. It was very important for me to re-promote both for my family, but also to prove to myself and my team we could do it again. Many of the things I learned are things we will be covering today. In my leader organization, we talk a lot about career plan advancement. So my hope is that today you will learn some great tips that will help you promote and level as well. Once you promote in my team, it's like, okay, what is your next step? Why stop here? I encourage my new leaders to ride the momentum train while it's hot. It's way too easy to lose steam if you slow down. I think this was best modeled to my leaders by how once we hit executive this time around, we went straight into senior executive director, then right into national executive director without stopping, barely even to breathe. Really, our company is so amazing at providing so many leader perks, so why wouldn't somebody want more? Guys, recognition is a huge part of moving forward. So many never get that in their everyday life. And in our team, we love to build people up. I've received a lot of recognition through my advancement in the career plan recently. And one of the best forms of recognition for me personally was in seeing my directors and their excitement to promote. It was that excitement that fueled our entire leadership team to move forward together. I'm sure recognition was important for many of you in your promotion to director as well. We do a lot to recognize promotions publicly in our team. First, we recognize our leaders on our team Facebook page because we want them to be recognized for their hard work. It builds excitement because our directors understand that when they promote, it also helps our upline to be able to promote and level as well. Next, we do a lot on Zoom together with our leadership team, such as trainings, coffee calls, chat groups, etc. We do this so that our leaders developed a strong bond, even though most times they've never even met in person. It's so crazy how this is nowadays in our mostly virtual world. These close relationships are so vital in our business. Many people don't get this type of bond anywhere else, so I really try to foster these with my leadership team as much as possible. It's totally a team culture thing, aka the Cool Kids Club, and consultants see how close our leadership team is, and I truly believe it helps them have a desire to be part of it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Cami, for kicking us off. So we know you guys have heard about the importance of building the core cultures of teamwork and monthly activity and fast-paced recruiting growth within your team in previous workshops during conference. So now we're going to dive into building on top of those core cultures to be able to obtain a career plan advancement culture. So first, it's so important to build that foundation of monthly teamwork and activity to begin to recognize and build a culture of an active and productive team. Once you've obtained a culture of team members that are booking, host coaching, and selling, you can begin to coach them towards the next core culture of fast-paced recruiting growth. Having these building blocks are essential towards moving your team to the culture of career plan advancement. So let's talk about how to create that team culture for career plan advancement. It's my favorite. The key is consistency and lots of recognition. So first, in your monthly team meetings, it's a really great idea to do some type of get the more you're looking for with your teams. I'll talk more about this in a second. But it's really a vision casting for directorship and how it can benefit their lives. An agenda for the Get Them Where You're Looking For is in the Director Bound program in Dash, and you'll also find other helpful resources in the Dash resource library, in the Career Plan and Fast Track and Leader Support folders. There's lots of great things to help us there. So a Get Them Where You're Looking For could be a meeting in and of itself. And to be totally honest, I've never done a true Get Them Where You're Looking For meeting. It's something that we have always added on in a quick 10-minute segment at the end of our monthly team meetings. I always like to put it at the end because we like to save dessert for last. But really, whenever you do this, however you do it, it should consist of the following elements. Inspiration for the possibilities with Pampered Chef or enjoying perks of leadership and what they are. We can also include different paths in the career plan and teaching on those. Sharing about your Director Bound program that you're running. You want to invite them to participate in that Director Bound program. Sometimes I'll have someone share a testimonial who's a director or an advanced director who has gone through our Director Bound program, and I'd love for them to share how it has impacted their family and how it's benefited them, and all of that. But the biggest thing when we do this 10-minute sharing for the Get Them Where You're Looking For, it's getting people inspired and excited at the possibility of getting more. So, of course, it's really important to have people be there and show up at that team meeting so that they can be inspired to join your Director Bound program. So we share it in a variety of ways, and I'm just going to share a few different ways, and they might sound like a lot to you right now, but just kind of write them down, and you can implement one at a time or all of them right away if you're super excited about it. So I send a weekly team text, and I always let them know when our monthly team meeting is coming up and what's going to be included and prizes and different trainings. So they get it from me in a text message. I also make an event in our team page about our monthly team meeting, and I post about it in our team page and I post about it in the event. And I'm sharing what we're going to be training on and the different exciting things and recognition, because people love to be recognized. And I also send the information in an email. And so all of my team members get the information about our monthly team meeting in an email. So they're getting it through text, through Facebook, and through email. So they definitely know about what this monthly team meeting is. And so those are some ways that help us get really high attendance. Another idea that you could use to get people to join would be an on-time drawing for a prize, and you can share which prize you're giving away. That really helps people get there on time and get them excited to be there. So again, these are all just ideas that I learned over time that I like to implement. I didn't just wake up one day and do all of it. So you can try one of them or you can try all of them. But basically the idea is to try to advertise and get the word out to try to get lots of people to attend your team meeting or to get them where you're looking for, however you do that. Okay, so next we're talking about identifying potential leaders. So to be very honest with you guys, when I first started really working to move up in the career plan, when I was a director, just like you guys, I was pretty good at identifying potential leaders and inspiring them to move up, which we'll talk about in just a minute, but I really did struggle with helping them to be successful. So don't feel like the first time you promote a director, you need to know exactly what to do to support them, because it's a learning process and experience. For me, I wasn't training my directors with a really strong backbone and a strength to be sustainable. So we weren't training on 4 parties a week. We weren't training on being booked the next month by the 15th of the month before. And they just weren't strong. It was just a huge rush to get promoted. And then we kind of just floundered in space after that. So we even met month 1 as an executive team about a year after I joined Pampered Chef, but we didn't meet month 2, and we lost a lot of those directors over the holidays. It was a really tough time, and around that same time, I also found out I was pregnant, and with all of those hormones, I even questioned if I should keep doing Pampered Chef. Going from about 10 liters to 2 liters was pretty disheartening. So I went to a couple of retreats, and I realized I needed to keep doing this and put my big girl panties on and build a new leadership culture that was really going to be positive and successful and thriving. And so that's exactly what we did. And we worked not only to identify potential leaders, but to help them be really strong leaders. And Cami is going to talk more about that in a little bit and give you lots of great tips on how to help your leaders be really strong once they promote and moving forward. So now let's talk about how you can identify those potential leaders on your teams. So first off, what I usually do is I look through my personal team every month and I scan for the following. You can take a picture of this or jot these down. So I'm looking for anyone who's sold $1,000 in a month. They do 4 parties or more a month. They like their income and they might want more. I'm looking for someone who's coachable. And I'm also looking at people who are still eligible to fast track for that $500 bonus, because that's a big carrot to dangle in front of people. Another thing that I look for is anyone who is competitive, is goal-oriented, self-motivated. I'm looking at my hard workers and quick learners. So when you're scanning for these things, it's important to not be too choosy. The people that you invite are either going to say yes or no and step up or not. So let them show you if they're going to, rather than you making the decision for them. So let's talk through some words that you can say to invite someone to your director bound. These are exactly what I use and what I train my team to use as well. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples, and this is the first one. So this is an example of what you can send to someone who is in their first 90 days who has not been in the program before. Hey there, I wanted to reach out to you about earning the next part of the Fast Track program you're a part of. It's a $500 cash bonus. All our new consultants can do this special training program to learn how to earn it after their first few parties. Would you like to hear the details? We phrase it like this because we don't want to overload them with too much information all at once. We're not telling them everything they need to do to promote to director immediately. That would be a bit too much. Here's another example of what you can send to someone outside of their first 90 days. Hey there, I've been really impressed by your shows lately. You've been rocking it. I would love to help you get more out of your business and more in your commission check. We have a director-bound training program that will do just that. Would you like more information? Again, it's short, sweet, simple, and encouraging, and it builds them up and inspires them that you see they can do more. All right, so here is an example of what you could say when they say yes, they would like more information. So I'll say, great. So this is a program to help you become a rockstar consultant, a great seller, booker, and recruiter. It will help you grow into a director, which is what gets you that $500 bonus plus a bigger commission check, a director box with most of the new seasonal products, and more. There will be 2 group training calls on this date, and then small mastermind calls after that. What do you think? We would love to have you on board and help you earn it. You can reach out to your upline or Dash's Director Bound for more steps and support for how to run that Director Bound program. And Cammie's also going to be sharing some tips for what they do in their Director Bound program. If you're able to partner with your upline or even a peer director to run this program, it's a great idea. A peer director is a director that is within your upline's leadership team. So, but basically, the more experience and inspiration you guys bring when you're leading this, the better.
So we always want everyone to experience this incredible opportunity to the fullest, right? This is so important, not just for myself, but for my entire team. So let's talk about how to create the desire for promotion within your team. One thing that my team loves to do is share our favorite perks of directorship with our teams. We do this by sharing pictures on our team page of all the perks directors can receive, like that amazing director box, explaining the perks of promoting to senior consultant, team leader, and director, and what that looks like specifically by covering it on their initial new consultant training call, and by rewarding and recognizing promotions on a consultant's Facebook wall, as well as the team page, to truly brag on them as much as possible. Basically, we just want to brag on the company and our consultants and all these amazing perks to build that desire within others. For promoting and level as a leader, we even have an upper level leaders training once a month for our advanced directors and above that I advertise to our leadership team as well to help build that desire to be in that extra cool kids club. And we also personally focus on always looking for those leaders on our own teams who we can help build the desire to promote above director. Another activity we do consistently is we share the opportunity to become a leader on live videos on our team page, at every team training, and especially when onboarding new consultants. My leadership team likes to utilize a banner on their own team pages, which serves as their team's vision board, in addition to the one that's on our organization's team page. Our banner is so critical in helping consultants see that promoting to director is very attainable. They see our banner continually growing, and I think they ask themselves, why couldn't I be on there? So when creating a banner, it's very important to leave room for growth. We want to show open spaces to indicate that there's room for more directors. For example, if you're going for advanced director, you would want a structure that shows senior director, which, as you know, would have 3 openings for 3 first-gen directors and 1 second-gen director. You could even have future leaders and their pictures off to the side as well to highlight your up-and-coming leaders. Here's an excellent example of a banner one of my directors created. She's going for senior director, but notice how she's planning ahead and actually has more spots than she needs for senior to show there's plenty of room for growth. She actually has more of an exec structure up, even with a few extra spots. To encourage our team to recruit, we like to welcome each team member to our team page, and we use the language, "Welcome to our Pampered Chef family." We post their picture, tag the new consultants, and our team members chime in to help welcome them. This welcoming of team members again demonstrates to others that sharing the business is simply part of what we do. During our new consultant training call, we teach our new consultants to let their upline know as soon as they have someone interested in learning more about the business. So that way we can get them on a quick 5-minute info call to give them more information. This quick, no pressure info call truly helps the prospect see if this might be a good fit for them or not. As the leader, we hold it with that prospect and with the team member who is in listen-only mode, so that way we can help train our new consultants to feel more comfortable with words to say on recruit calls and how to respond to those objections. A key piece I find valuable is to ask the current team member, if we're doing the call for them with their lead, to share one thing he or she has loved so much about the business so far, and also one reason he or she feels the prospect would make such a great fit in our Pampered Chef family. We also brag on our team members for lining up these calls on our team page. As leaders, we know that instilling the action of lining up the call will lead to the result of more prospects joining. We like to recognize every single effort made towards sharing the opportunity, whether it's a phone call or a screenshot they've shared with us, because as you know, these behaviors will yield the results we want. Not all that we speak to will join, but like everything else in this business, it's all about the numbers, and you just never know which ones will decide to try it out. Finally, having systems in place to support all of this will help ensure it works consistently. One thing I share with all my leaders is a bullet-pointed agenda of what they could cover on their new consultant training call. We like to get our new consultants on a training call ideally within 48 to 72 hours when they're super excited. When they are a new consultant on my team before they promote, I also ask them to join in on that recruit's Zoom training with us to show their support, and also so they can hear time and time again what that new consultant is learning. So that way when they take over their training, it's very familiar and not scary because they've heard it so many times. Another system we utilize to help promote new directors is that each month we continually run a director-bound program, which has been the most effective thing we have done to grow so quickly as a national executive director team. Guys, I used to be so terrible at promoting leaders, like the worst, until I learned that it's critical that I run this program consistently to see the best results every single month. And not only consistently, but to not try to change it up all the time. That was the missing link for me. So are you ready for this? Here is some fabulous news. You guys all have a very similar program to mine. It's the Director Bound program in Dash, with the customizable tools you need right at your fingertips so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. My program, Cruise into Success, models Director Bound very, very closely. I'm sure most of you run something like this for yourself or with your upline. Ours is a series of 4 one-hour calls once a week on Zoom. This is where we help train and lay the foundation of success principles for our future directors. This group is made up of these consultants who want more from their business and are actively running a solid show schedule, like the ones Becca taught us to identify earlier. We're always watching for these rock stars who we want to invite to take this course. Even newbies get invited, if they're willing to put the work in, which consists of being on the weekly call and completing their few easy homework tasks each week. In the course, we talk about consistency and actively making at least 25 contacts per week. Ideally 25 contacts every single day if they really, really want to grow their business. We also share booking and recruiting tips, and specifically ways to share the business in a non-pressuring way. We have a guest speaker testimonial on each call to help our team members relate to others and inspire them to see what is possible and attainable. Something fun we do in this course is to have them buddy up and find that accountability partner to have throughout the course. This is somebody they're going to reach out to weekly or bi-weekly to cheer on, give some encouragement. And a lot of these buddies end up becoming really, really great friends. And oftentimes they even promote to director together. Once they complete the Director Bound program, they move into our final training part, part 2, which is a secret promoting to director club. Now, I got this amazing idea from good friend Kristen Waringa, and it works. So definitely take notes on this one. This is the training group we work closely with during the month, and it's from this group that we promote all of our new directors out of. Most of them will promote that very month with the help and support of this group, since they are all going for the same goal. And those who aren't quite there yet return for the next month and achieve it then. For this group, we look for those who have had a strong show schedule and also have at least 2 team members. And they receive a personal phone call from me inviting them into this group where we discuss their goals and I get them pumped up about how close they are to promoting and I offer them a spot. Here's an example. So I had a strong seller on my team for quite a while, probably about a year. And she hadn't really done a whole lot of recruiting, but all of a sudden she was having this great growth. So I called her up one day because I was checking stats. Actually, it was super late at night. Called her up and was like, girl, you are so close to director. Is this something that you want in your life? Then we developed a quick plan because she was super excited and we promoted her within a week. And now she's one of my strongest upper level leaders and has a very strong downline of directors herself. So in my experience, most consultants don't realize how quickly promoting can actually happen. Oftentimes it just takes someone believing in them and noticing them and then having that conversation. This secret director promoting club meets once a week for 30 minutes on Zoom. My leadership team is so great at working so closely with their team members who are in this group. Now, another system we have is that we run opportunity events at least once or twice a month, which spurs a lot of our team to invite people to learn more about the opportunity in a fun, no pressure environment. This helps our new consultants to feel comfortable to share the business right off the bat because all they have to do is invite their friends to this fun online check us out event. Now, these are just a couple examples that can help create a desire for more from the business and can also help the entire team achieve the vision of maximizing the benefits of the company's generous career plan.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cami. So our last step here is taking responsibility for your own success. Owning your story is the key to having true success. It's really important to take ownership whenever your goals are not met. Taking ownership for your actions, your schedule, your plans, dreams, and goals is so important to be able to live like the captain of your team. If you don't own those things, someone else will own them for you. And you certainly don't want someone else running your ship. So as you guys are working to move up in the career plan, always strive to work towards the next level and to always be in a growth mode. Those who are content with where they're at and their structure are more likely to fall backwards and trip. But those who work to grow their teams and director teams will always grow in their business and income. With that in mind, by always striving to push your team to be better than they were last month, you should always be paid at your title. Being paid at your title should never feel optional. If you did all the work of going through medical school, for example, you would expect to be paid as a doctor every month, wouldn't you? No matter what. So in the same way, you guys are doing all this work to become directors. And now you should live and work with the expectation and proper work ethic to always be paid at your title and beyond. This principle can break down to ensuring that you spend time on your business in a consistent and focused manner with whatever your lifestyle looks like. And we know it's different for everyone. But creating those systems that Cami mentioned to help yourself recognize and award the core cultures we talked about today, while still running and maintaining a strong personal business, it's so important. When something goes wrong, you should reflect on what you can adjust personally to improve.
Great. Thank you so much, Becca. That was wonderful. So I contribute a huge part of my success to having a vision of where I want to take my business. Not just saying I want to promote and level, but setting a very specific, measurable goal of how many directors I would need, including overage. That plan for overage is so important, as I learned. Then creating a plan and setting it into motion to ensure I reach this goal. I love this quote by Rachel Hollis, and I'm sure a few of you have heard of her. Your dream is worth fighting for, and while you're not in control of what life throws at you, you are in control of the fight. Meaning, no, you can't control who is on your team, their attitude, or what happens in their personal life, but you can control you. And I also love the quote on the screen that says, "No one is going to care about your dreams as much as you do," also from Rachel. My goal is to help others achieve their dreams, even if they don't believe that dream could happen. If I were not working my business and helping others to promote and get more from their business, I would really be doing them a huge disservice. So I want them to see me doing everything I say I will and do everything I train them to do. I want them to see me leading by example by running my own successful business. That way they see I'm not relying on others to be successful. Something fun that I do, excuse me, with my leadership team, I got this great idea from Love Carpenter, is to create a quick Canva each month, just a little graphic of who is in the 5,000 club. We call it the 5K club for the month. Now this is leaders, directors on our team who have 5,000 personal sales, not their team sales. So it really recognizes those leaders who are selling at a high level, which quite frankly is the most effective way to be a leader, to where they're getting paid as a director regardless of having to depend on their teams. Plus, it's helping them find more leads because they're in front of so many more people. They want their names on that picture, and this helps create directors who are strong sellers and director green every month and paid a title. Yay! So when we model this as we work our own personal business and achieve these goals we set for ourselves, whether they're in sales, recruiting, promoting directors, whatever it may be that's important to you personally, it helps others to want to achieve their own goals as well. Now, you've just heard a lot of great tips to put in your back pocket. Now let's go out and promote some leaders and change some lives with our awesome career plan. You guys have this, yay!
Wow, that's such incredible learning and sharing. Becca and Cammie, that was amazing. Thank you so much for stepping up to really share your experiences and your knowledge. I love that you truly gave us actionable tips that our directors can lift and load right away. And I just know that everyone was taking a lot of notes and have so many ideas to take away from what you talked about today. So a huge thank you to both of you. So we covered a lot of amazing content today, all the way from why you should want to advance up to taking responsibility for your own success. And now it's time we're going to be able to answer some of your questions. Truly was amazing. Cammie and Becca, honestly, such great content, so many great actionable tips, and I did write down as many of the questions as I possibly could. And a few people actually asked, so Cammie, maybe I can go to you first. What is Director Bound and where can they find it?
Oh, for the company's Director Bound?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just go into Dash and you'll see all that information right in there, the wonderful training, and then like what our organization has done. Look at that, and if you want to tweak something, make it your own to fit your team and see what works for you guys. And if you have something that works, keep doing it.
Yeah, that's great advice, because Dash is Director Bound in Dash, it is customizable, isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they can add their own personality into it. I love that. And Becca, somebody asked, is your Director Bound open to all, or do they have a certain criteria that they have to fulfill first?
So it's open to all. Recently, what we did since we became a national team, I started having my leaders who are executives and above start running their own Director Bound. But for you guys being directors, you want to open it up to your entire personal team. And you're really looking for those people who are coachable. They're in their first 90 days. They're excited. They will thrive off of a little bit of inspiration and belief from you. But leave it open to everyone. And I think that's very smart too, because sometimes you'll get someone who maybe you didn't personally recruit, but they're on your personal team because one of your personal recruits recruited them, and they'll want to join and they'll want to promote. And so you don't have to necessarily work with just the people you've recruited. You should really work with your entire personal team.
Yeah, that's good advice. Cami, somebody asked, how do I motivate my team when I'm the only director so far?
Well, that's a great question. So, just like I kind of talked about, getting them excited about the perks and just showing how awesome this amazing company is, just getting them excited about the perks, helping them recruit, letting them know, keep it about them, offer it to them. And then when we can help our teams recruit and we're modeling recruiting ourselves, they see this as just part of what we do, and it's going to help them build their team and not be afraid to do it. I was the worst recruiter in the beginning, did not want to pressure anybody. And I just had to realize, like, people were signing up even without me putting any emphasis on recruiting. And I got to see that people are looking for things like this. People are looking for this in their life. And why would I decide for that it wasn't the right fit? So I try my best to offer it to every single host and just let them decide and not make it about me. And then your teams are going to start having that recruiting culture, and then you're going to be able to start developing those leaders.
I love that. And Cami, can you ever remember a time that you saw really great potential in someone and you had to work with them to build their confidence that they could be a director?
Yeah, so that's happened several times. And so we just really work together. I like to really just try to, partner with that person and just help them believe that this could happen. And, sometimes it happens where that same person, maybe I had to ask them a couple times to become a consultant, and then just kind of building that belief in them and just really coaching them one-on-one, making sure they're asking everybody, giving them wording, and just really, taking them under my wing and inviting them to the programs and things like that.
Love that. Becca, a few people asked, at what point do you feel directors should break away and start doing their own team meetings?
So that's a tough question. I really think it just depends. We talked about taking ownership. So if you're actively partnering with your upline and your team meetings are amazing and you're actively inviting your team members and they're coming to the meetings and you guys have a great working relationship, keep doing it. If it's working, keep doing it. But if you're noticing that you're not getting people coming and it's really just you, maybe one other team member, it's probably because you're not owning that meeting, and you need to start owning it. And when you own it, you're going to be inviting a lot better and you're going to be a lot more invested in it and all of that. So I really think it just depends on you, your relationship with your upline. But definitely owning those personal team meetings and having those relationships with your personal team members, whether you do it on your own or you do it with an upline, you need to own those relationships, however you do it.
I love that. And as somebody is starting out doing their own team meetings, where would you recommend they find content?
Yeah, it is so easy. Pampered Chef rocks. So we do not have to reinvent the wheel or anything. So there's a couple of different things, a couple of different ways that you can run those personal team meetings. But I always use the monthly meeting planner that the home office Pampered Chef comes out with every month. You're going to find that on Explore, the exclusive to leaders section, and they update the monthly meeting planner every month for us to use. And I've used it in a couple of different ways. When I'm running the meeting for my whole organization, which was like a lot of people, I would edit the PowerPoint, and I would, it would be a little bit more formal, and I would go through the whole PowerPoint and I'd put in my own recognition slides. And then when I'm doing it just with my personal team, I don't even put up the PowerPoint, but I just kind of scroll through it and I look at it and I use it as an outline for open conversation for a meeting. If I have a small group of like 10 people on the call, I'm like, okay, so national conference, I see this on the slide. Let's talk about it. Have you guys been to national conference? Have you registered? Do you know about it? And we'll just have open discussion. So there's a couple of different ways you can use it, and I'll just kind of scroll through and use that as an outline. So there's a couple of different ways you can use that.
I love that. Somebody asked, if my banner has many empty spots, how do I get over my own mindset that this looks discouraging to my team?
Yeah, so I think just, once you can get like a face up there, and I think it's you're starting your team and starting to build directors, I think it's a good idea to even have some future directors, like await directorship spots maybe on the side of your banner. And so those are your team leaders or your senior consultants. They don't have to be a director to be on the banner, but they're moving towards director. So that way it kind of makes it look like there's some growth happening and you're recognizing people because they want to be on that banner. So I would just, encourage you, highlight the people that have at least 1 or 2 recruits and put them, moving into one of these house spots or, whatever your banner looks like. But I would just encourage you to do that.
I love that idea because it really just shows the team is building and it's growing. And so you start where you are, right?
Exactly. And then once you start getting those spots, like it's just something happens and the excitement takes off. And then once you get these systems, then it just starts happening. And it's just, the train just keeps rolling and rolling.
I love that. Cami, a few people asked the 5-minute calls that you talked about. What do they look like? What do you talk about?
Certainly. So those are my favorite. I mean, for years and years, I've probably been doing these 5-minute phone calls for the last 12 years, maybe. I got this idea from a sales manager from Pampered Chef. And so basically when I have somebody that expresses interest, a team member, I say, let's get them on a 5-minute phone call, ask them if they'd be willing to partner and just listen in for 5 minutes for a 5-minute conversation just to help them learn more to see if this might be a good fit for them or not. And we don't know until we talk with them. And if they're truly interested, they're going to agree to a 5-minute phone call. That person could even offer a gift if they wanted, like a free Seasons Best or something like that, just a little gift. But it really helps address those objections on the phone together. And I think it's very effective to have that time together just to handle those objections, see if this might be a good fit. So the 3 questions that I ask is I start off, again, no word vomit. I want it to be all like giving the lead opportunities to talk. So the first thing is I ask them, what about this business is most appealing to you? It gives them a chance to explain. Are they looking for extra money? Are they looking for something to do? Are they, what is it that is most appealing to them? In that part, I always talk about the opportunity to earn extra money and to earn lots of free products. And I say, now, that's not going to be a problem, is it? Right? And they're always like, oh gosh, no, I'll love free products. And so then we talk about, an average show is about 500 in sales. So you're going to make around $100 on that. Let's say you did 5 of those in a month. You would have $500. What would you put that extra $500 towards? So we get them thinking, like, what would they put that towards in their life? Because most potential, consultants, most leads, an extra 500 is a really awesome amount for them. So we just want them to start seeing, like, this could be very, very easy money for you and just really help. And then basically I go into, so we talk about that, and then I go into just letting them know, like, the third thing is, I always encourage people, try this for 30 days. You never know. It's not like you're signing your life away. You're not going back to school. You're not having another baby. It's just trying Pampered Chef. If it doesn't work out, you're getting a great kitchen full of stuff that you're going to use every day. And you're not investing tons of money that you're not going to get back. This is a great deal on our kit. So I just ask them, is there anything standing in your way of trying it for 30 days?
I love that. And the confidence that you have really translates to, and your genuine enthusiasm for what it is that you're sharing with them. I absolutely love that. So, Becca, a couple of people asked, what is a mastermind call? You mentioned doing mastermind calls. What do those look like?
I don't remember mentioning mastermind calls.
Oh, okay.
Did we talk about that? Cami, was that yours? I was like, I don't know.
Was it yours, Cami?
Yes. So the mastermind is that secret director bound, or like not director bound, we call our crews, like Cruise into Success, like basically open to everybody who's looking for more, but our special like secret to promoting to director club, we call mastermind. And so basically that is more of the people that have at least 2 recruits and they have a strong show schedule, because those are the people that we know we can work with that month. This is their go month for director. So we really, really work with them for that. But basically on the Zoom call, we meet once a week for that month for 30 minutes. And it's just a really, really fun group because everybody is going for the same goal, sharing their ideas, cheering each other on. We have a little Facebook chat group for it, and it's really, really, really fun. And they're just all supportive of each other. And so basically we get on the call and we talk about how are you recruiting? How are you selling? And that's their only focus that month, is booking parties and recruiting, and how to offer the opportunity, bookings and recruiting on each call, and just, strategy, how to promote, this month. What are you going to do? And I love hearing and having other people share as well what's working for them.
I love that. So this is a great question. I'm actually going to ask both of you. So I'll start with Becca. The question is, knowing what you know now, what would your top 3 big focuses be if you were talking to yourself when you first promoted to director?
Wow, my top 3 focuses, knowing what I know now. And let's just repeat. Gosh, I think the biggest things you have to focus on is just, the first thing is owning your own personal business is really important. That ownership is so important. I thought about mentioning this story in the breakout session, but my brother is in the military, and when he was in boot camp, my maiden name is Harvey, so we were all called Harvey and everything, and so he had gotten into trouble for something that he didn't do, and you know how they are in boot camp. They bark at you, they cuss at you, they yell at you, they make you feel like a piece of crap and everything. So he was getting barked at, and he just looked at it, he looked straight on, as you're supposed to do, and he said, "I am candidate Matt Harvey, and I accept full responsibility for these actions, and I will take all the consequences of these actions," or whatever. And he didn't do anything. And he earned so much respect from the leadership because they knew he didn't do it. It was someone else who had messed up or whatever. But he earned so much respect for just owning it, whether he messed up or not. And I think that owning our own personal businesses, whether we feel like a falter or a failure or a mishap is our fault or not, we just need to own it. So whether you have the show schedule you want or not, whether your parties are going well this week or not, whether you are recruiting or not, whether you're promoting leaders or not, it's 100% on you. And so I think just owning that and then holding yourself accountable to the standards that you want to have is so important. So the first thing is just owning that personal business and having a very strong personal business and making tweaks and adjustments when you're getting those frustration points when things aren't going so well. That was a really long-winded point 1.
It's powerful.
The point 2, I kind of learned this as I went, but and I'm very grateful to my upline, Ellington, because she just kind of mentioned it when, we were talking and everything, and I kind of grabbed onto it. But delegating, I learned, was really important. I think when I became a director or advanced director, I tried delegating even just small tasks. So I had an assistant. She was a little high schooler. She would come once a week and help me put together host packets, and I don't do host packets anymore, but just learning the power of delegating is really important. I'm a huge advocate for delegating. So, if there's anything that you can have someone do that doesn't really require your personality, and then that will free up your time to work with promoting leaders or whatever, delegating is really, really powerful. So I would definitely think about that. And then the third thing, I don't know. I feel like I've said enough. I don't know.
Tammy, do you have anything you would add in? Thinking about yourself when you were a brand new director, if you could talk to yourself then, knowing what you know now?
Yeah, so I would say, number 1 is just really ensuring you have that strong personal business, because that's so essential for growth. And it doesn't matter if you're a leader, if you don't have that strong business to maintain it, because you can't rely on your team to do everything. So I just really personally focus on at least $5,000 a month of my own, just because I want to lead by example. And I understand 1 in 10 of my recruits are really going to be a rock star. And so that's so important, that strong personal business, to find those leads to join your team, to have that overage and the abundance. And then the second thing is just making sure to get those leads that I am asking every single host, so I can model recruiting to my team and just show them that this is just part of what we do and it doesn't have to be scary. And third is just really building belief in my team and looking to see who are those people, that I can just really try to build up and encourage them to recruit, because I see something in them, and just really encouraging them, even if they don't see it in themselves, to just go for it.
Yeah, and I love that. And this is the perfect place for us to close for tonight, because you both really echoed the same sentiment. And it's hard for you in the positions you're in now to think back to when you were a brand new director. But it's so true that really having that focus on personal business, taking accountability for that. I love that you talk about asking everyone and looking for those stars to develop, and giving everybody that same opportunity. So I want to say just a huge, massive thank you, Cammie and Becca, to both of you. Congratulations on all of your achievement already this year and the recognition that we've seen so far at conference. You've shared so many great tips and ideas with this group today. I don't even have enough words to thank you, and I know everybody is feeling that very same way. So you're both amazing and aspirational. This group has taken a lot away from your sharing today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good luck, y'all.
Thank you for the opportunity. Have a good rest of conference, guys.